Hi everyone, I'm your good friend Toby. Let me start with a quick question. Who here loves candies? Hey, be honest. Now, imagine this. You've been riding a camel all day under the scorching desert sun, and someone hands you a piece of candy. Isn't that the perfect treat? Well, believe it or not, candy has a long and delicious history, part of which runs straight through one of history's greatest trade routes, the Silk Road. Okay, let's embark on a journey through time, not just across mountains and deserts, but through changing flavors. First, we need to be clear. What is candy? Before we dive in, let's define our star. In its simplest form, candy consists of sugar and flavour, but it hasn't always come wrapped in shiny foil or sold in big bags at Halloween. Thousands of years ago, candy looked and tasted very different. In fact, the earliest candies were fruits and nuts coated in honey or boiled syrups flavoured with spices. And guess what? All these ingredients once travelled along the Silk Road. Now, let's talk about sugar, the most essential ingredient in candy. Today, we take it for granted, finding it in sodas, cookies and cereal. But in ancient times, sugar was rare and expensive, once called white gold. In every culture, people have cherished sweetness. Think of all the paintings you've seen of fruit platters, like this vase. The juicy sweetness of these fruits is captured in art, making us imagine the taste of sugar. This Metropolitan Museum artifact is from China, but every region has its own love for sweetness and unique flavors. The earliest sugarcane dates back to 500 BCE in India. Farmers pressed the cane and boiled its juice to make sugar crystals. This technology spread as a result of trade, and by the 7th century, sugar reached Persia, where chefs added rosewater, pistachios and almonds to create delicate desserts, once reserved for royalty and nobles. As sugar travelled west through the Middle East and east to China, new candy forms emerged. Some were chewy, some sticky sweet, and some mixed with spices like cinnamon, ginger and cardamom, flavours unique to each culture, all traded along the Silk Road. Did you know that aristocrats in China's Tang dynasty loved candy? They imported sugar from India and Southeast Asia to make early versions of candied fruits and ginger. They even boiled sugar into syrups to coat nuts or dried fruits, just like the sugar apples at amusement parks today. Look at this Chinese painting of pomegranates at LACMA. Pomegranates are delicious and provide an excellent flavour for candies. But they weren't native to China. They originated in Persia and northern India. Introduced to China through the Silk Road trade, which inspired this painting. Candy wasn't just tasty, it was also considered beneficial for health when consumed in small amounts. Ancient Chinese doctors sometimes used sweet syrups to soothe sore throats. Now, let's look westward. In the Islamic world, sugarcraft became a true art form. During the Abbasid Caliphate, sugar was everywhere in kitchens, used to make nougat, fruit pastes, and more. Arabic cookbooks of the time had entire chapters dedicated to sweets, treating sugar as both medicine and luxury. And Arab merchants carried sugar-making techniques far and wide, from North Africa to Spain and eastward along the Silk Road to China. Interestingly, candy wasn't for everyone back then. It was often a symbol of wealth and power. Being able to afford sugar or candies meant you were high status. Serving elaborate desserts at banquets was like saying, "Look how rich and refined I am." Maybe a wealthy merchant used a bowl like this one on display at the Met to serve sweets, showing off both their ability to buy fine porcelain and their luxury of using sugar. In China, candy was served at imperial banquets. In the Middle East, it delighted guests and scholars. And in medieval Europe, when sugar first arrived, people locked it away like treasure. So, when you bite into a chocolate bar today, remember that there was a time when this little bit of sweetness was more precious than gold. The Silk Road certainly moved goods, but it also shared flavours, recipes and traditions. And candy? It's one of the tastiest travellers of all. The desserts we enjoy today are the result of centuries of shared knowledge, trade and creativity. Finally, here's a sweet question for you. If you could create a Silk Road candy, what ingredients would you include? Think on that, and thanks for watching. See you next time.